What's up, guys? We're back here with CPC Season 4 for a Week 1 match versus Joost Bartels and his Angels of Beheeyeim. Be sure to check him out. Unfortunately, there has been an issue with the replay not being saved permanently, which is why I have to show you this battle one late because I didn't find the replay anywhere, and I have been busy with university and stuff. And two, I'm going to show it off his video. So if this is a bit edgy, I beg your pardon. Please, next week we're going to make sure somebody clicks save replay. Alright, so, yeah, Joost has arguably the best drafted team in the league. He has a core, as you can see, of Landers Incarnate with Sheer Force and Cure and Black, which is fucking impossible for me to switch into at all. He has the Greninja, which is faster than my entire team, and Revenge kills it quite effectively. So he has Mega Aggron, which is, with its coverage combination, poses a huge threat to my team. And he has an Espeon, which is, since I don't have a Dark type, and my Psychic Resists are weak to Ghost, and he could really run Psy Shock for my Spidef Snorlax. It's a huge issue for my team. I can never really let Espeon get up 1 or 2 or 3 Coal Mines because then it'll just run straight through me. So yeah, on my side I decided to bring in a Fizdef AV Metagross to sort of switch into his Kyurem. I can take I can take any hit plus barring 2 Shadow Claws, I can take any 2 hits. I can yeah. We have my Beheeyeim Calm Mind Clef. With Fire Blast, once I weaken the Aggron a bit, this can actually sweep his team quite effectively. We have standard sub 3 attacks Mega Heracross, which actually absolutely dents his team. We have a Choice Scarf Blaziken. We have a Choppleberry mixed defensive Lax, almost max Spidef, to sort of tank a hit from Greninja and Lando and Espeon and kill them in return. We have Rest as a last move with Sleep Talk, Return, and I think Superpower. Don't quote me on that. And last but not least, we have a Yachi Berry Thunderous with Nasty Plot, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and HP Ice. Yeah, so that's the team. I think it's a pretty rough matchup. I have more of a balanced team in my draft, and balance technically doesn't really have a way of effectively switching in and dealing with stuff like Landers Incarnate and Cure Black. So not my favorite matchup to start out with, but we're gonna roll. As I mentioned, he does not have a good switch into Mega Heracross. So I'm predicting the Luxray lead right here, and Luxray with my Heracross spread can't break my sub with a Volt switch. So I decided to lead off with my Mega Heracross, which should be soon. Sorry, this is a bit unprofessional. A bit more unprofessional, actually. Yeah, so I decided to lead off with my Mega... Come on! No! Yeah, so I decide to lead off with my... Yeah, go for it. Yes, Mega Heracross, as I predict the Luxray. Yes, I do get the lead correctly. He gets off the Intimidate, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. I can still achieve almost achieve the same OKOs or 3 KOs on his team. And as I said, Volt Switch doesn't break my sub. I predict me to be faster. I can just sub up right here, not care, and scout whatever comes in. Nice and dandy. So, this Lando, I obviously can't kill it in one hit, but Rock Blast is going to do a ton to this, assuming a hit. I do connect, I do get 1 crit, I think, within the 5 hits. As you can see, with the crit, I do get the 2-hit KO, so even with the Intimidate. So, great there. I'm forced out here. I don't want to take a Sludge Wave, or I figured he might just have like HP Flying or something, because Heracross would have been able to take a Sludge Wave here. Extra Sensory is another option he could run for me. So I double out into my Snorlax, and he crits me with U-turn. So here's off to the nice start. Without the crit, I would have been at like 13% higher or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Something like that. Which would have been quite significant at the end of a match, because I can show you then. But right here he makes a good play of U-turning out, revealing to me his Life Orb, so no, don't have to worry about Yachi Berry. Rock Polish is still in the question, so yep. He makes the smart play of U-turning, though Lando is getting chipped, which is nice for me. Follows it up right here by going hard into his Mega Aggro, which makes absolute sense. Right here I predict him to go for Stealth Rocks. As I said, I have struggled switching into this, and I need to put back up offensive pressure on him by making an aggressive switch into my offensive Pokemon right here, because I absolutely need to get damage on this Aggron if I want any chance to win. So what I do is I go hard into my Mega Heracross on his predicted rocks as he Mega Evolves. Good. Stealth Rock. So right here I have run Close Combat. I probably in hindsight should have run Arm Thrust, but I run Close Combat to achieve a 2 KO on this Mega Aggron. And I can, even from this amount of health, I can tank the Heavy Slam after the Close Combat drop easy because I'm pretty bulky. So I just go for that. Close Combat, yep, 60%, nice, 2 KO. Heavy Slam goes off. Shouldn't be able to knock me out right here. And if he goes into Lando, like, he doesn't have a switch in at this point. Yep, and I skipped the important part. I Close Combat again, like, and stay at 9%. Now my Mega Heracross is in range of rocks, so, and I don't have removal, and neither does he, so there's absolutely no point in saving my Mega Heracross at this point. Cool! He kills it. I go into my Blaziken, because Lando is a threat, and Blaziken is Scarf. I basically have to reveal it right here. And I could predict him to go into something like Greninja on the Flare Blitz, because I Jump Kick doesn't kill from here. But I want to make the safe play and just Flare Blitz and kill this thing. Nice one. And yeah, as he goes into his Espeon after now, this is a bit of a tough spot for me. Like the first thing when he brings out this Espeon is I know or strongly suspect he's Scarf, which is like pretty obvious, which is the first thing I think. But my thought process is, as I mentioned earlier, is Espeon with Calm Mind. Look at my team. If he has Psyshock and Shadow Ball and gets up to +2, I just lose this game. My predicted, and if I go hard Metagross here on a maybe a Specs Shadow Ball, if he bluffs the Scarf right here, and I go Metagross on a Specs Shadow Ball, or I go Snorlax on my Specs Psyshock, I have a problem because I lose my only checks to the Kyurem Black and the Greninja right then, there. So that's not a good spot for me. So what I decide to do, I try to catch him on the bluff. Even if it's not bluff, I think it's still my best play to stay in with Blaziken and go for the Flare Blitz again and not let this thing set up straight in my face. Alternatively, I could have gone Thunderous, as it didn't do that much in this matchup, and I could have preserved Blaziken, which might have been the better play looking at how weak his team is to high jump kick spam at this point. But if it's Scarf Espeon, it's always like coming in and revenging me, but then I get back momentum. So yeah, I was really terrified of the setup Espeon right here. Yeah, as he reveals to be Scarf, as I expected. Fun fact, he took like 4 or 5 minutes in between, just, and I was thinking like, hey, what is he thinking about? He brought Espeon out after. You don't bring out a Pokemon after without having a plan. And, like, you don't sack off a Pokemon and go into another one after you sacked it off if you don't know what to do with this one you brought out. Like, that's not the way this works. And, yeah, so he took just to bluff something, which I found rather annoying. I don't like when I have to wait like 6 minutes for each turn in a battle. But yeah, Espeon gets a kill here, and I'm in a pretty tough spot. He revealed Psychic, not Psyshock, which is mildly surprising to me, given that I have a Snorlax. But hey, yeah. So my obvious play is right here is after I go out into my Metagross and threaten this thing with a Meteor Mash, I go right for the Earthquake to catch the Luxray. Sorry. But I'm dumb, and I made this Light Mail for the Low Kick Greninja, which does a ton to me anyway with another move. So, yeah, I completely forgot about Intimidate Luxray in this battle, which bites me in the ass because right now my Earthquake is only going to do about 50%. I went for Earthquake about for everything else because it ensured the 2 KO on the Luxray, and Earthquake into Meteor Mash or Earthquake into Thunder Punch would have still killed Espeon, Kyurem, and Greninja either way. So Earthquake was my best play right here. As you can see, 251 without the Intimidate. If I had been clear body, this would have been in range of Thunderous. Yes. Okay. So Off to a good start. I go into Clefable because he can chew hits from this for days. He makes the great play of volt switching here, which I don't necessarily agree with. We needed more damage on Metagross, but then again, this is his Thundy check and he doesn't know my set yet. Could be agility, and that might be terrible for him. Well, agility, Thunderous, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Couldn't really beat his team. Like, his offensive core checks it, and his defensive core, he needs cover, any coverage, and nasty plot. What you bring out, what do you go into versus a Clefable? Hard, Kyurem, Black, apparently. And to me, hard, Kyurem, Black on a Clefable means Life Orb Iron Head. I can tank it, but I don't want to. I want to preserve it. The other thing that could come out right here is like a Sub-Zero Slammer, which I didn't thought like, hey, cool, I have a Steel type, Assault Vested, which can take any hit barring a Shadow Claw, and he's not getting hard Shadow Claw on a Clefable. He goes for Z Sub-Zero Slammer and does 51% to my defensive Metagross. That's not fun. Kyurem? Why is Z Kyurem with Sub-Zero Slammer allowed? I don't know. This is a bulky resist. It's a Steel type. It shouldn't take 51% from an Ice type move. Yeah, okay, and I don't pack Bullet Punch, and he can just follow it up with a Shadow Claw. I couldn't risk my Snorlax right here. And right after, I have to go into my Clefable and click Moonblast to put it in range of Thunderous. He goes for Iron Head. He can Sub-Zero Slam on me. Obviously, I'd eat up my Barberia. I'd chew the hit like it's nothing. I can still take the next one here, I think. It's a roll. It's a roll for me to take the next one. I unfortunately don't. But now I can go and right out into my Thunderous, and because I got the crit, I don't need to risk Focus Blast here. I can just kill the Kyurem off with a with the Thunderbolt or HP Ice. HP Ice should be HP Ice. Oh, Thunderbolt does the trick. Perfect. Yeah, but now he can go right on to his Greninja after. I'm Yachiberry, so I think if he goes for Ice Beam, I still have a chance because I can still potentially tank a Psychic from Espeon. I'm not sure. I'm pretty bulky as well. Don't quote me on that, but he makes the better play of going for Surf, which with my investment was a roll in my favor for me to live. As you can see, I live on 3% and I get off the T-Bolt. Nice, Greninja is gone. And it's basically Thunderous and Snorlax versus the world. He goes into Luxray, which was in my opinion a choke. If he went hard Espeon here, he could have knocked me out, preserved health on his Luxray, which then could have come back in, intimidated my Snorlax, but yeah, it's whatever. But he reveals the quick attack, so that doesn't matter. That's a cool attack. I haven't seen that on Luxray, and I've used it once or twice. I go into my Snorlax here, and I'm at 55% right now. After the incoming Wild Charge, I can definitely. I'm not intimidated. I can knock this thing out right here. No problem. So yeah. He goes for Superpower, even lowers his defense, so Wild Charge was better. I go for Return, I kill him. And now I'm at 60%, and he goes into Scarf Espeon. He doesn't have Psyshock, he has Psychic, and Psychic... yeah, Psychic would not have knocked me out right here if I hadn't been crit earlier with U-Turn. Then my Snorlax would still have been at 26%, I believe. That was a loud motorcycle. Would have been at 26%. I would have lived this Psychic, and it would have basically been a 50-50 at this point because I had Rest, and he's a Choice Glove Espeon. He's gonna carry Trick or Switcheroo or whatever of that Espeon gets. But yeah, he has But unfortunately, because of that crit, I'm in range of Psychic, and I just drop. Otherwise, I would have tanked the Psychic, and I could have killed him right here. With 2 returns, or I probably would have clicked Rest in that scenario, just because if I didn't think, or well, it's hard to say, because he would have known he couldn't knock me out, right? So, would have come down to 50-50 instead of him just cleaning up this game with Scarf Espeon. Yeah, so Kyurem Black doing Kyurem Black things, killing my entire team, and yeah, that's basically it for this week. We lose 1-0 to Yoast Bartles. Good game, man. A bit unfortunate with the crit, but hey, you did great prep. You have a really great team. Quick attack Luxray coming through.
yeah, hopefully we can do better in week 2. Cheers, my name is Johnny. I'm out.